Hello everybody, I'm Renzo Mocs and welcome back to another Bionicle mock review. Now as you guys requested, we're going to start reviewing Bionicle Next Generation mocks because most of my mocks reviews have been Renzo, and you guys can vote for the next mock at the end of this video. And this is going to be a really short review because I'm sorry this has been very delayed, and that's just due to complete procrastination on my part. I've just been really lazy. It's so easy to do these reviews, but I put it off because that's what I do. Anyways, today we're reviewing a Bionicle Next Generation mock named Boone. He is my brother's self-mock, Jor. It's his pet. So yeah, let's get right into it. So, as one guy in the comments picked up, he is a dog, and I'm really glad a lot of people picked this up. Boone is a small little dog, slightly based off the ones from the Bionicle graphic novels. If you guys don't know, I'll throw it up on screen. They appeared very briefly, but they saved Bohatsu, and it was a nice little part of the book, and I really like the design of him. So Boone is inspired by one of those dogs, but I wouldn't imagine that he'd be one, mostly because this Bionicle Next Gen does not take place in the same time as G2. I don't want to say much because I don't want to spoil too much, but yeah. So Boone here is a little bit of a crystal dog. He's got this like crystal formation going on, and the original idea was to make him an earth-based or a gravity-based Rahi, but then I kind of functioned back to maybe he just doesn't have like elemental powers, and instead he just has like natural abilities. So I imagine Boone kind of has some sort of earth-based power, kind of like Tarak. I'd imagine he'd be very destructive. He's very violent when he has to be, obviously from that rat-type face, if it will focus. There you go. I absolutely love this mask, and as you can see what I did for the eyes, very simple. Obviously these HF masks are weird because they attach via bar, so you got to do some weird connection. I'm sorry if the light makes it look like it's blue. It is purple. I don't know what's going on there. I think it's just a filter on my camera right now. But that is what the, so you can kind of see, and you can even get a little bit of like a tongue texture in there. It's really cool. It does kind of make the head look hollow, but overall I really like him. I really like him like this. I might actually change that out for a black bone or a red bone or something because it just doesn't really work as a tongue. I don't know. We'll see. Articulation is very standard, but he's got a lot of it, so he can obviously articulate his arms all the way. Actually, his neck can articulate a lot. He can bring it all the way down, and he can bring it all the way up, which is perfect because it lines up with his back, which is really nice. You know, he really is, like, he was really fun to put together. So articulation in the neck is just great. He can look all around. He can go to town or whatever. Arms are very standard for articulation, but obviously his arms do hunch that way, and he does have individual toe articulation, which are these nice spike pieces. Gotta love these pieces. I wish they did more of them. I think they still do them, but they're not that easy to come by. Legs have the same amount of articulation in the back, and his back actually is really interesting. I really like how I did the texture from his crystal back to the back of his back here. It's kind of a rough transition from spiky to soft, but it kind of leans down and goes to the tail, which does already have a little bit of articulation, but you can move that down on a ball joint individually, which is nice. And if you really want to position the tail or something, you can also like position the actual purple piece so that it lines up. And overall looks really cool. He's a very poseable little bugger, and that's what I like the most about him. He's just really fun to pose and play around with. He does have gunmetal, black, and trans purple in his color scheme. It's nice, simple, effective. It gets the point across. But yeah, I spent way too much time talking about Boone. So let's move on to a size comparison or something. So here we have a size comparison / just a general look at the both of them next to each other. I really wanted to show this off. Obviously, he's not the same size as Boone, but he's a pretty freaking big puppy. When you look at them back to back, they just look... Boone is actually quite large for being a very small, just pup of his species, I'd imagine. He's very large. He's very burly. You could probably... honestly, Jor's a little... Yeah, okay, that's a more fair comparison. Obviously, Boone is actually quite big compared to Jor. And if he tried, I'm sure Boone could overpower and just kill Jor if he wanted to. Because he is a pretty big puppy next to Jor. I'm just looking, I never really noticed how big he is next to Jor until I just put the two on camera just now. But you can kind of see, you know, they both got Boone's got darker colors, Jor's got this very vibrant color scheme, and it's a nice contrast. I like the look of them next to each other. They contrast a lot, but you know, I like that when mocs do that. They always contrast. I like contrasting colors. It's really nice. So yeah, that's just a little size comparison thing. So Boone is a nice mock. I really like him. I'm happy that I designed him. He's a very colorful mock. I love trans purple as a color scheme. I think this color is one of the most lucky colors that we've ever gotten in CCBS. It's such a nice, it's not warm, I guess it's cool. It's a nice subtle color, you know. It's not very vibrant. It's very subdued, and I love that. It's just it's nice to look at. It's very appealing, and I'm glad that I was able to give a sort of Rahi that color scheme. Truth be told, this is actually most of my trans purple pieces in use right now, so better make it count, old guy. But I like Boone. I want to know if you guys like Boone. This review has no right to be as long as it is, so let's get into the mocks that you guys will be voting on next for the next review. So now we're in the part of the new mock review segment where you guys get to vote on which mock you guys want to see for the next review. Now I'm going to be doing this hopefully by the end of every review, and I don't want to make it drag on for too long. So let's get started with the mocks you guys can see for the next review. I got them all right here. So the first mock, A, if you want to call it that, is a Toa of Ice Crystal. She focuses. She looks very bad under the lighting right now, but that's Crystal. I won't tell you much except that she's a Toa of Ice, and she does not have any weapons. That is her default mode. The next character, who doesn't really have a name, but you can just call like Skeleton Warrior or whatever, is this guy. Now I really like this guy, and I do want to review him. He's very simple, but I think I'd like to talk about his story a lot. And then the final guys that you guys can vote on, number C, if you will, is the Ghost. Now, I don't want to tell you guys that much until the review. So you guys vote. A for Crystal, B for Skeleton, if you want to call him that. Just call him Skeleton. And then C for the Ghost. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm Renzo Mox, and good luck. Goodbye.